Right now, Florida is in the bullseye for Hurricane Milton, just hours away from landfall. Late this afternoon, it did weaken a bit, but is now still a Category 3 storm.
Yeah, it's still very, very dangerous, and time is running out to get out of the storm's path. EarthCam is giving us real-time conditions in different cities. Right now, it is on Naples Pier, which is experiencing strong waves, wind gusts, and ominous clouds. But this is really tame compared to some of the video that's coming in.
Take a look at the security camera video showing the moment an apparent tornado blew by a house in Fort Myers. The homeowner says he had evacuated but has been checking the surveillance cameras attached to his home. We'll have more on the tornadoes produced by this hurricane in just a minute, but we begin our team coverage with Belinda, who has an up-to-date look at Milton's path. Belle?
Well, you know, Julie and Lauren, this storm did intensify, or let's say it did drop in intensification, but it also really quickened up. Last night it was moving at 10 miles per hour. At present, it's moving 17 miles an hour, and overnight it was moving 23 miles an hour. And that is why the outer edge of the eye wall, as we speak, is buffeting the shoreline right near Sarasota. So it is going to make landfall by around 8 o'clock tonight versus the 1 o'clock in the morning, which was the projected eye wall, of course, as it moved on to the coast. So here it is, and we'll kind of zoom in. You can really see that eye wall coming in just north of Fort Myers, south of Tampa. So that track is further south than it was earlier this week, but not as further south as some anticipated, really making landfall, as you can see, within the next couple of hours, right around Sarasota. But all across this entire peninsula, the weather has been horrific today. And as we also mentioned, it is now a Category 3. So it's currently moving at 15 miles an hour. And right now the wind speeds are sustained at 120 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 130. So a Category 3 making landfall south of Tampa within the next couple of hours, and then still a Category 1 near Orlando, and then moving off the coast, but not until tomorrow night. So it's going to be a very long night in Florida. The imagery is amazing, and Chris Arapsky's here at the live desk with more. Chris?
Yeah, Belinda, the concern today in Florida has been tornadoes, as you said, and storm surge, which is coming. A record 90 tornado warnings issued in the state of Florida today. Here's some of the aftermath recorded in Lee County. This is near Fort Myers, just north of Naples. Roofs blown off, down trees, down power lines, with the power out in certain areas. Another tornado recorded by folks on the highway in Broward County. This is west of Miami. This is on the other side of Florida. This shot was recorded by Florida DOT. If we span out here, this is the tornado as it blew over I-75. We time-lapsed it to show you how quickly that thing was moving there. Also of concern right now is the storm surge to hit the Gulf Coast. Check this video out. So this was posted by NOAA. This is Saildrone's video. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a 28-foot wave that is in the ocean in the Gulf right now. We talked about storm surge. Here's sort of that forecast of what they're looking at as I zoom in. We're talking anywhere from 8 to 13 feet from Tampa Bay all the way down. So central Florida, the Gulf Coast is going to get hit pretty hard by that storm surge. President Biden speaking moments ago on the impending hurricane. Here's what he had to say.
To the people of Florida and all the impacted states, we've got your back. We've got your back. And Kamala and I will be there for as long as it takes to rescue, recover, and rebuild.
Ben Deary here to explain why and how the hurricane is triggering all these tornadoes. Ben.
Well, Chris, it's not super rare for a hurricane to produce tornadoes, but it is rare to see this many of them and those really strong tornadoes. Now, how can they form? First off, a hurricane is this big spinning low pressure system that generates quite a bit of wind shear. That's winds moving at different directions at different heights. And what that ends up doing is creating these rolling vortices within the main storm structure. All it takes is for a supercell thunderstorm to catch that rolling vortice, and it turns it into this rapidly, violently rotating vertical column, and that can sometimes lead to tornado development. So you look at the hurricane right now, which is still offshore, but we're still looking at these arms, these bands of heavy showers and thunderstorms working their way through the eastern part of the state. And if you zoom in, you can see each one of these right here is an individual supercell thunderstorm, each of which capable of producing enough rotation to produce a tornado. In fact, at last count, already 16 tornadoes reported, most of them on the eastern half of Florida. So an interesting situation there. Now, one of the top questions being asked by people outside the storm's path is, How can we help those impacted? One option is donating blood. And as Kaya Edwards explains, there is a critical need right now.